Hi everyone, Cody here. Welcome back. Well, the bulk of the hard work is done, and I would just like to take a moment to share with you our new vegetable garden. So here it is, already constructed, already planted. So basically I have rocks all along the outside edge, a stone pathway in the middle, and then I got these bars on either side of these other walking paths that are made out of just regular moss, of all things, collected from the forest, so that we can get access for watering these spaces. So these spaces are all filled with wood chips as mulch. So I got a lot of use out of my wood chipper. Actually almost killed it because I was just mulching so much. But last weekend we got her planted, so here's what's coming up now. I got some, I believe these are arugulas, which if you don't know is, I guess also known as rocket. It's like a nice little solid green. Some bok choys over here, or pak choys I guess. Maybe it's a mix of both. I think I have a mix of both. And in here, got some spinach. Spinach there. Spinach there. They're still so tiny right now, but actually the bulk of them just germinated like today, I've noticed. Some more spinach over there. Over here I got some lettuce. So this is the leaf lettuce, I suppose. And this is iceberg lettuce, so it's more spaced out, I guess, because they get to be bigger plants. So I think there's lettuce right there. In this space we got some broccolis, which look exactly like the baby bok choys and arugulas, because they're all brassicas and they all look identical when they're little. I actually planted cauliflower in this row next to the broccoli, but I don't really see it coming up. It might have been just old seeds that were no good anymore, so what I might do is just take some of those extra broccolis and move them to this side if the cauliflower does indeed not germinate. In this section I have beans, corn, and squash, but I don't think anything's really come up yet. I can see something here, but it might just be, I think that's just borage. It's borage plants. This is a borage over here, just fallen here. I'm not going to pick them because they attract bumblebees to the garden, so, and they're good companion plants. Over in this section I got potatoes. So there's actually a potato over there, definitely a potato. Potato there. This looks like still the eyes of the potato. A little bit of basil coming up over here. That might be one right there. Maybe one there. Basil is actually an excellent companion to nightshades like potatoes or tomatoes for that matter. Actually planted some tomatoes here, so I think this is the first one to come up. It's a tomato. Just large tomatoes. I'm not going overboard with tomatoes this year because I just get too many of them. Still have a whole bunch of tomatoes from last year. That would be a tomato there. And then this row, I guess I have some marigolds. over there, over there. Those are marigolds. I also planted some peppers here, both hot and sweet peppers, but I don't think they've come up yet. So over here I got bush beans. So here's a bush bean, here's a bush bean, another bean in there. I'm poking up the mulch as well as some cucumbers. So these are pickling cucumbers. There's one there, another bean over there. There's another bean there, and there. Yeah, they all kind of showed up today. It's kind of funny. I didn't really see them yesterday, but today they're poking up, so that's great. So that is our new vegetable garden in a nutshell. And so let me take you to our old vegetable garden, which I also got planted. Here it is. This may look a little more familiar to you if you've watched some of my previous videos. So basically, last year, and years before that, there was like an L-shaped path going like that. And so I filled in the path, dirt and compost, and just had these level grass walking paths. Might be kind of hard to see, but go along the length right adjacent to where the old path was. So there's another one there. And so I actually mulched this all with rotted grass clippings. And so that should liven up the soil quite a bit. So down here, I actually have some transplants in here. So these are all ground cherries, also known as golden berries, Inca berries. I tried growing them last year, but they didn't really ripen by the end of the season, but I actually started these earlier, and hopefully they'll do better this year. Over here, also some more transplants. These are collard greens. So they're a lot like kale, only more heat tolerant, I guess. It's popular in the deep south. And it actually looks like a kale. I think it got mixed up with that artichoke that was with that kale. I think that's kale, but it just looks different from these ones, so that's those ones. So I got the bean pole, old faithful bean pole. And so I actually planted morning glories along this bean pole, as well as cucamelons. I don't think they've popped up yet. And some peas. Don't see any signs of peas, but these morning glories are starting to show. More morning glories there. Something beautiful about a bean pole with a whole bunch of morning glories on it. And so that and all the other vining plants, I think it'll look pretty great. Here's where I put my strawberries. So kind of over here, we're starting to make strawberries. And so they're still green, but probably in another couple weeks they'll be ripe and ready to eat. In the middle of these strawberries I planted my rhubarbs that I started from seed. So they're doing great. And I suppose that rhubarbs are actually great companion plants with strawberries, as long as they don't get too big and crowd them out, but I'll figure that out later. Oh, what's this? Oh, this might be one of my cucamelons, I think. So right over from the strawberries, I got asparagus. So that was from my asparagus that I started from seed this last winter, and looks like it's doing okay. As they get established, I think they'll be pretty prolific. Another one over there, very long and spindly. Down here, I got my peanut plants. So they look like they're doing pretty well. I got more to germinate. So they're in the ground, and we'll see what I get out of this little peanut patch. Here's where I put those ashwagandas, the medicinal Ayurvedic herb. And so I think they'll do pretty well here. It's kind of an empty spot and I didn't know what to put here, but I think these ashwagandas will do just fine here. Down this way, I have a mixture of onions. So these tall ones you see are last year's onions, and from what I've experienced, they should go to flower this year. And so then they'll make seeds, but they won't be good for eating like that. But I planted new onions in between these onions, all in the same spaces. And so these are new onions here, here, there. All these ones are new. So these will be good for eating and digging up. And then by the time these onions are all done, next year the new onions should hopefully be flowering, and the seeds dropped from these onions will already be germinated. So it's kind of a permanent succession planting, just getting a constant supply of onions just already dropped from seed kind of thing. So that's what I'm hoping for. Whether or not it'll work out that way, I don't know, but it's just a theory I would like to kind of try. And I have some leeks over here, so it's good. I like to use those in turkey leek pie. That's really good. So it's kind of next to the onions there. So unless I take a really close look, it doesn't look like much else is happening in these spaces here, because nothing's really come up yet. Anyways, I planted carrots here, and so I don't really see them. Maybe that's a carrot. Not sure. That might be a carrot over there. Sometimes when they're this small, it's hard to tell if they're plants or if they're weeds. That might be one. And this would be probably one of my lima beans. So I planted lima beans here too. Should be more evident in the next couple of weeks of what we'll actually see what I planted here. And there you have it. Garden number 1, garden number 2, and all the other countless little garden projects I have everywhere else. I think it's going to be a great year. Lots of places to grow things. These are our main vegetables, so see how it goes. Well, I hope you enjoyed the tour of our vegetable gardens. I'll be sure to keep you updated once the plants start growing more and you can actually see what they are a little better. And I hope you have yourself a good one. Until next time, happy growing, everyone. And by the way, thanks for watching.